I understand you're going into facts, but my point of the call was to say that the electorate is looking at past associations. We don't have all the facts. We don't know what's in the man's heart.
No, you're right. We don't know what's in the man's heart, Stan. But see, here's the difference between you and me as an alcoholic and Barack Obama. You and I were drunk when we were doing things like that, and we changed our lives. Now, Barack Obama has not had a pivot point. He has not said he extols the gentleman who was his mentor and role model, a guy who has a 600-page FBI file. He is a Soviet communist with a capital C, Frank Marshall Davis. That was his mentor growing up. He doesn't say, oh, well, and he was a communist, and boy, that was really bad. He just says he was a great man, and he learned a lot from him. This man has never said, I've had a pivot point. I've been hanging out with socialists and Marxists and communists my whole life. And that's what he has been.
Didn't William Ayers change his life and become a professor?
No, change his life. Read some of his books that he's currently publishing, where he says that that juveniles should not be punished or held responsible. He still claims, this is back in 2003, that he is a communist with a small c, which I believe means that he just doesn't shoot people if you disagree with him anymore.
Back to my original point of the call. That's what I'm saying about the electorate. The electorate understands that past relationships are
past relationships mean something, Stan, if you don't have a pivot point.
Have you extolled all the people in your past?
But I have a pivot point, Frank, and so do you, or Stan, so do you.
What's your pivot point?
My pivot point is sitting at the breakfast table with my children, lying to them because I blacked out and I couldn't remember the story that I told them the night before. That was the moment that I said, I can't live this way anymore. I've got to change my life. What was Barack Obama's pivot point? Was it with Jeremiah Wright? We know it was, now they've got the tapes and the evidence of it, and I better say something. That's when he pivoted, but he never denied the theology of that church, just Reverend Wright. That was his pivot point on Reverend Wright, not the theology, and the theology is Marxism. He hasn't pivoted on William Ayers, on the things that he did, the things that he taught, the things that he talked about. Nobody has asked him about the communist with a small c. All he has said is, I thought he was a repentant terrorist. Well, he wasn't, and everybody in his life knew he wasn't. And if you read any of his current works, you'd know that. But let's just not dwell on William Ayers. Let's dwell on Tony Rezko. The time that he knew that it was bad was when he got caught. That was his pivot point on that one. His pivot point always seems to be when he gets caught. It's not a blanket pivot point, Stan, like an alcoholic's. An alcoholic's pivot point comes when you're down on the ground and you realize you have nothing to lose, except your life. And the only way you can turn your life around is if you change fundamentally. He hasn't changed fundamentally.
See, what I'm doing here is I'm an Obama supporter, and I'm not attacking McCain's character or his relationships in his past and the years he's been
Stan,
in the Senate.
you're going to make me drink. Do you understand? Do you understand, Stan?
Don't pick it up.
You don't listen to me. Don't give me the alcoholic nonsense. Listen to me, Stan. You don't stop judging. You said it yourself. We don't know what's in the heart of a man, right?
I don't judge a man by one incident in his life.
I'm not judging him on one incident in his life either. I'm judging him on 10 pretty big ones, Stan. 10 pretty big ones.
What has he done?
Good Lord, what hasn't he done? The latest one is Acorn. He just gave $800,000 to community outreaches to help him, get out the vote. Except that's not what he said. He said that it was $800,000 for lighting, stages, and sound. When he got caught lying, then he said, it was for community outreach. And we find out that $86,000 went to Acorn. They are involved now in voter fraud. Good Lord, man, how much more do you need?
Didn't McCain make a speech before Acorn? Didn't he praise him? I seen him
It's not the same as giving a speech, Stan! It's not. I'm going to hang up on you because I'm going to drink. Jack Daniels, deliver a case of alcohol to me. It's not the same. Stu, help me. Help me.
The only way I can help you is getting you that Jack Daniels, which we're sending for.
Please send me. You know what? I used to drink at least a gallon a week. Send me a gallon. Let's start at the top.
I was watching CNN last night, and they were talking about his response to the Acorn thing, which, again, he has nothing to do with that. Their current response to that is, we only did that in the primaries. We're not doing it now. That's not a come-to-Jesus moment.
You've got to have a come-to-Jesus moment. He has not had a come-to-Jesus moment on Marxism. He has not had a come-to-Jesus moment on victimhood. He has not. I want to talk about a come-to-Jesus moment. How about this one? The guy who runs the president of the United States, who runs our country, actually doesn't believe you can make it. Since when is that reasonable? Since when do we embrace a guy who says you can't make it? That's not the American dream. That's not the American promise. That's the American nightmare. You can't make it. A guy who stands in a rope line 2 days ago. Do you have the audio of the plumber? Do you have the unedited audio of the plumber? Do you have the whole conversation with the plumber? Give me the transcripts, Stu. I think I have it here someplace. It is absolutely, here I have it. Here, play the audio, and then I'll give you the whole transcript.
Your new tax plan is going to tax me more, isn't it?
It's not that I want to punish your success. I just want to make sure that everybody who is behind you, that they've got a chance at success, too. I think when you spread the wealth around, it's good for everybody.
Okay, here's the whole transcript. Your new tax plan is going to help, tax me more, isn't it? Then he said, well, look, my intent is not to hurt you. But then the plumber says this, I've worked hard. I work 10 to 12 hours a day. I'm buying this company and continue to work that way. I'm getting taxed more and more while fulfilling the American dream. Obama says, it's not success I want to punish. I don't want to punish your success. I want to make sure that everybody behind you has a chance for that success, too. My attitude is if the economy is good for the folks at the bottom, it's going to be good for everybody. I think when you spread the wealth around, it's good for everybody. That's not America. That's Marxism. Oh, well, he didn't know that guy was a Marxist in his life. Well, he didn't know that he was a communist. We've all had those communist influences in our life. No, we haven't. I haven't. How many communist Marxist friends do you have, Stu?
One. Only one.
One. Name him.
Clinton.
He
used to work on this program.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't even a communist.
No.
Do you remember? He used to say, I used to say it because it pisses people off.
Right.
He didn't actually believe it.
Well, obviously not.
Dan, how many communist friends do you have?
Same one, Clinton. He's only one.
Okay. I've only met, I'm sorry. I've met two. I met Clinton, and then I met a real one. Guess where I met him? On a college campus. Dope. He hands me a communist newspaper. I turn around and I say, you know what, kid? When you grow up and you got a family and a mortgage and you've actually held down a job, you dope, then you come talk to me about your communist propaganda.